This tutorial will show how to remove electrical transmission lines from a terrain model. The model was created by photometric software from images taken by a drone flying over a quarry. There are 3 short power lines and 1 long power line. The model rotates around the center of the screen, and to pick a new position on the model we just have to click with the middle mouse button and that point will move to the center of the screen. And now if I rotate around and zoom in with the mouse wheel, we'll find we can see the power poles holding the lines up. Now I've cut all the power poles except for one, which we will cut now. And the procedure is the same for all the power lines. We zoom in on the line, and so we see it there. Then we go to the Tools 1 menu and go down and click on Triangle Delete. This brings up a set of controls for deleting the triangles from the mesh. If I click on Use Texture, the texture is displayed with the model. The green is the color of the selected layer, and as we only have one layer, we won't see any other colors. And now to delete, we just have to go and click with the left mouse button over a triangle we want to delete, and it will find it and turn red. Now, the original model here had 1 million triangles in it, and there's a lot of work needed to be done in AccuTrans to speed things up for larger models. So when you click on a triangle, just sort of pause a bit before you release the mouse button to give the computer time to figure out what's going on. And we just go along and select the buttons to turn them all red. And we've got another one here. Okay, so once we've clicked on as many as we want, or at any time, we just hit the delete button and they will disappear from the screen. And we can see we have no triangle edges shared with other triangle edges, and we have the point of a couple triangles matching onto the others. Those don't matter because that's not considered as a connection between 2 groups of triangles. There's a show undo here. If I click on this checkbox, there's our triangles back again. And if I had moved a triangle that I didn't want to move, all I have to do is click on it and to select it, and it changes to a purple color. And then if I click undo, it will go back to being green. And so I'll click on it again. And if I clicked on and I wanted to get rid of all my changes with whatever is showing in red or the purple, for red I click clear and it disappears back to green, and clear undo and it would again switch off. So we'll click on this again and do a delete, and it's gone. So now we've divided the object. Now usually what I do, I think I'm going to go back and take out two more. And make the hole bigger. Now usually what I do when I go along, like I would do all 3 power poles because they're close together, and then I'd go and fix the holes. I generally don't move all over the model because it will be hard on a big model to find out to get back to where you left the holes. And so we have those, so we'll exit out of here. And if I clicked the no button, all the changes I had made would be forgotten and we'd still see all the triangles. The triangles are gone now, and there's no way of getting them back. So what I'm going to do is go over to click on Edit here, and this brings up another mode where I can do things with the vertices, create new triangles and move things around. So what I'm going to do is click on, I'm select on Pick Vert. So I'm going to click on this vertex, it'll turn red, and we see which other triangles our edges match up to that vertex. And now I'm going to go to snap to vertex, and we can snap a vertex or a whole bunch of vertices over to another point, but I've just got the one selected, and I'll click on this vertex, and that's moved over, and I'll say OK, and that is now sealed. And then what I'll do is I'll go to Pick Edge and click on this one, click on this one. Sometimes you have to click around for a bit before it'll actually pick up. And no, I didn't. Oh, I know what I didn't do. I should have welded the vertices together, because I've got a couple vertices sitting on top of one another, and because there's an undo buffer here, and that's why I couldn't select. And now we have one edge selected, and it says we've got edge 1, we've got one edge selected. And there are undo vertices here, buttons for undoing various things. A single vertex, all the vertices I've changed on one layer, and then I can change back all the vertices on all the other layers. So I can cancel out all the changes I made in here, except for adding triangles. And now that I've got that selected, I'm going to go to Divide Snap, and the edge will divide, and a new edge appears in here. And then I'm just going to go up and click on this vertex and try again. Okay, so what I've done by doing this, it doesn't matter that the model changes, because we wouldn't know that how it was supposed to be constructed in the first place. And I've preserved the UV coordinates by just stretching the triangles into other shapes. And so I'll click OK, and click on this one to turn it off. And now if I go over here to do watertight check, it says I've got a mesh count of 5. Meshes have holes, which there should be, and display edges for the holes. So I'll display those, and go up to the layers. I'll turn off the big layer, and the only holes we have are at the bottom of the power pole, which is what we want, and there shouldn't have been any other holes from what we had fixed up. And here's a hole over here for some other reason. Oh, that was one of my other power poles, and there was holes over here too. If we were to go back and check, there were the holes over there. Okay, so now I'll get rid of that layer there. We've got that turned off. Now we'll zoom back out, and once you have the part of the model cut away from the big part that you want to get rid of, you can get rid of those quite quickly with just a couple of mouse clicks. We'll go back to Triangle Delete, and we'll click on this one, and I'll move in, and there it is. Now I'm going to hold down the Shift key and click with the left mouse button, and it'll all turn red. And if I had left one triangle edge from this part that I wanted to get rid of connected to something in the green mesh, there would have been a really long delay as all the triangles got selected in the whole model. So we want that, and so if I could just go ahead and say delete, and there it's gone. If I turn on the undo buffer, there it is. Okay, so now we'll come back, and there's another one over here. Zoom in, do a shift, click with the left mouse button, it turns red, do a delete, come back out, and there's another one around here someplace. Oh, there it is. Okay, and do a shift key down, left mouse click, and it's selected. Do a delete. And here's our long one. I'll do the shift delete again. This will take a little longer to select because it's sort of like you click on one and then it says, okay, that's good, and then it sees if there's another triangle matched up with those edges and so forth, and it takes a while. And now if oh, wait a minute, I clicked on the wrong button. Not paying attention to what I'm doing. So we'll have to come back here and do that over again. And the other small ones that I deleted are now gone because I clicked the OK button. And if you, there we go, I'll click on delete this time. There's a control up here for locking, so that I have to hold down an extra key. So if I was clicking on buttons, like if I went around and I drew a circle, everything will turn red. And with the unlock off, if I do another circle, it will turn some red, and what was red, it turns it off. But if I go ahead and put on the lock and I draw a circle now, it will fill in the area without deleting the other ones. And we'll clear that out. And there's also a hide and unhide button here. If I was getting at something and I had triangles in the way, I could highlight those, and instead of deleting them, I put them into the hide buffer, and they're just temporarily hidden so I can get at the other triangles. And now if I zoom out and click on the show undo, we can see there's our transmission lines back again. And so now if I click OK, transmission lines are gone for good, and that's all you had to do there. Now there's a tree down here. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to come in, and we can see, okay, this has got a great big hole in this tree. If that would all have to be filled in with triangles if I was going to 3D print this tree. So we'll get rid of it, and this is a little I'm showing this because it's easier to see than where we were in. So we just click on the triangles, turn off the undo buffer, and what I'm going to do is I'm also going to get rid of these triangles because they're not wanted in the final model for 3D printing. Delete those. Okay, then we just come around and on the tree. Now I'm just showing you one way to fill holes. There are other ways when you're getting rid of stuff that I'll show in another tutorial. So there we are. We're just connected by the edge, so we're ready to delete the tree. So I'll click there and delete, and there's our tree gone. And I'll say OK. Go back into edit mode, do a pick edge, divide snap. Doing OK. Exit out of that mode. And now if I go back and do a watertight check, we've only got one mesh, and we've got holes. And if I go up here, turn this off, we can see the hole is all around the outside edge of the mesh, except we've got a big hole here in trees, and so it's quite a bit of work to fix this model up before it can be 3D printed. So we'll turn that off, and okay, in that step. So that's how you can delete triangles and get rid of the power lines. This concludes this tutorial. Goodbye.